All right, all right, all right. We in here. Good afternoon, Facebook and YouTube. We are back again, the Men's Club Live. Used to be the Men's Club podcast. We had to change it for some legal reasons. But we are here. Same show, same people. This afternoon, we're going to be talking about something that is uh, crossed my got my attention over the week. It's about the mask that men wear. Uh, the Derek Jackson situation that came about over the week with him being this so-called relationship guru and putting himself in a situation where um, he's been kind of found out not to be the person that he said he was. Uh, and it made me think about the mask that men wear. We wear a lot of masks, especially in our early years. I think as we get older, we learn to just be ourselves, and if that ain't good enough for you, then hey, we just don't deal with you. But as a young man, I used to wear a lot of masks, and I was never the person that I portrayed myself to be. I was always, depends on who I was dealing with. That's the kind of person I was. If I was dealing with somebody who was a church going woman, and that's the kind of woman that I was trying to be with, then I was church going. If it was somebody that partied all the time and that's what she liked, then I probably partied all the time. Whatever mask, I had to put on to be with the person that I was trying to be with, that's what I did. But that eventually would run out of steam and you would have to end up being yourself at some point. That's a hard thing to keep up. Most masks crack at some point, and 9 times out of 10 you do it yourself. So so that's something that we're gonna talk about today, and we got another subject in a little bit, but let's start off with the mask that men wear. Uh, Fellas, can y'all expound on this any? Have y'all ever had to put on a mask for a relationship, or your parents, or anything for that matter? I mean, I know I've done that before, and and it was something that I couldn't keep doing. At some point I had to let it go. So y'all got any comments on that?
Well, the only thing I can say about it is, for the most part, you know, it's kind of like a maturity deal to
Mm-hmm.
me. Because usually, the older you get, the more you identify with who you truly are, not trying to fit in a crowd with that mask, so to speak. But a lot of times in relationships, um, it's going to be what you want to put on every day. Because a lot of times, depending on the woman you're with, that's the mask you have to wear.
Yeah.
Because if you have a outgoing spouse, then that's the mask you have to wear. If you have a spouse that's kind of in the church, that's the mask you have to wear. As long with that being that equally yoked, not necessarily a mask of deception,
Mm-hmm.
but the daily mask. Because a lot
Okay.
of times, the only people that truly know who you are is your spouse, your parents, your grandparents, brothers,
Yeah.
sisters, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, that the reason I asked that question is, and I said, for your parents, is I know at certain times I had to pretend to, well, I won't say pretend, but I know there were certain characteristics about myself that I didn't want to portray around my mom. You know what I'm saying? Or my granddad or my grandmom. And I call that wearing a mask because, if I was truly expressing myself the way that I wanted to, I always felt like they ain't gonna like that person. You know what I'm saying? So I had to well, I say put the brakes on, maybe my attitude or the way I approached things when I was around my parents versus when I was just out with other people.
Yeah,
So
that's true. That's true.
now go ahead, Blue.
Mm, I guess when you're younger and on the thing of the woman that you're choosing to be with or you wanna be with, you're trying to draw her in, and and as a man you're already insecure when you're approaching a woman like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you're trying to draw her in, so you're trying to find out the things that she like, or you're trying to get on the level that she is, because where you really truly are might not be attractive to her. So I think
Yeah.
a lot of men may do that at a young age when they're trying to attract a female, and they're out of their comfort zone of who they really are, but they're really trying to impress this female, not necessarily to um lie to her or anything like that, but a lot of times when you're doing those type things of someone that you're really attracted to, it's intimidating when you really don't know what buttons to push to get her to open up to you. So you got to try to figure out
Mm-hmm.
by watching her ways and what she's interested in, and you try to mimic those things because you're really just trying to get her to pay attention to you, not in a negative way, but just because of the attraction that you have for her. But as you get older, like you were saying, Brian, to where um I was always, it was like those things that are not natural become harder to keep going when it's not natural for you. So
Mm-hmm.
I can always remember my mom saying, like, when I was younger, talking to multiple girls at one time, and then her thing was, don't start nothing you don't plan on keeping up. So if you're not planning on, if you're not the whining and dining type man originally or naturally, don't start out that way, because eventually, once you get comfortable in that relationship, the real you is going to come out, and the you that you're portraying or the mask that you're wearing is, like you said, Brian, it's going to require a lot more maintenance to keep the faith, to keep the mask in good shape. So as you get older, the things that you were using to try to keep the person attention to you, as you get older, those physical attributes might take a back seat to other things that you might try to be looking for in a person. So my mom I'll never forget that. She used to say, "Look, son, don't start nothing you don't plan on keeping up. If you don't if you can't bring flowers to her 5, 10 years from now, or 6 months or a year from now, don't start now. Don't be attracted to the flower, and then once you get some of the honey, you start flying around it the same way you was when you was at it."
Good analogy. I like that. But you absolutely right. My grandma said, "Amen." But you're absolutely right, though, man. I agree with that. And that's the thing about you know, I don't really know this Derek Jackson guy. I just know that he was, I used to see him on Facebook from time to time, but he just we should come across the feed every now and then. But I went back and looked at some of his videos on his YouTube page, I think it was, and yeah, this cat was pretty much bashing every black man, every relationship he knew about. It was always, these guys ain't doing this, they ain't doing that. Why you with this guy? And to turn around and find out that he really don't treat his wife no better, and he's very arrogant and very, you know, what you call him, what you call him? I forgot the
I don't know
I
him, so
forgot the name.
I never even heard of him, so I
Yeah,
can't really comment on that. But I would say this, you got to look at the times that we're in, and you just look at reality TV shows. If you want your ratings to go high, all you got to do is have a lot of drama on, and that's what a lot of the
that is
TV
true.
shows are about now. And you got to think about, the world of capitalism. Okay, you find out what you can market it, what you can put on the market that people are gonna be drawn to. And you think about, okay, a lot of women that have been hurt or done wrong, and you got a man coming on here talking about men in the sense of what he probably not heard women say to him himself, and to do it in a way of he's on the outside of the box talking about the box, and you can use that as fuel to get those um, readers to really buy into what you're saying.
Yeah, and that was the thing about what happened was, you know, I think what drew my attention to it was not necessarily what he did or what he does for a living. It was more about the damage control that he tried to do. That was really just stupid. Because if you gonna do damage control, just hey, I'm sorry, yeah, that's something that happened in the past. People bringing it up trying to mess me up or whatever. But that's not the person I am. Ain't going about your business.
Right.
But he had a whole lot of, I'm gonna do a reaction to the reaction that I had when I got caught, or when I admitted that what I did, and I'm gonna do it in the third person. I'm like, man, all that is so unnecessary. When you do stuff like that, you look guilty. You know what I'm saying? So, and I was like, once again, somebody's mask got taken off. So is this the person you really are? Because So, but anyway,
It's
my
one of
whole
those things. Oh, go ahead.
go ahead, man. Go ahead.
It's one of those things to where, in situation like that, instead of you trying to be the one that drag people across the coals, why not use those illustrations to try to help those that are wounded?
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you wholeheartedly. And that's my point about it. It turned into what I felt like was my brand messed up, and I'm trying to save it. Not that the trust I built up with these women that I talked to is not gone. He wasn't really worried about that. He was more worried about that brand getting jacked up. The money he's making getting jacked up, and you could see it. It was very clear. That
Right.
he wasn't bothered about how many women or that listen to him and follow him. How he made them, or that trust got severed. He wasn't bothered about it. That ain't where he was trying to go. He was more than like more than being very forthcoming with my brain and trying to trying to save his brain. But you
Right.
know, but I'm gonna get off of that because I don't know that man well enough to
Yeah.
to know anything else. I just went back and saw. I thought it was interesting, and I went back and saw some of the videos and was tripping about some of the stuff that the choices that the choices of some of the things that he said versus what he could have said, and just being real about it. And my
Right.
sister
Right.
died. She said that he had no remorse, and he didn't. He really didn't. He had no remorse. He at
And
least he didn't show it.
and
You
just
know.
listening at what you're saying, Brian, it's almost like, okay, you know, you're focusing on everybody, but who you really should be focusing on. Okay, what kind of position? Not the readers, but what kind of position did you put your wife in?
Yeah, man. See, and that was a whole nother thing. I didn't really appreciate how he kind of gallivanted her out in front of the camera, and he did all the talking. You know what I'm saying? I
Right,
would have liked if you gonna let her, if you gonna bring her out there, let her talk. You know what I'm saying? I was more, I was more interested in what she had to say than him anyway.
right,
So because it really could have been that it could have been exactly what he said it was. It could have been an old situation that happened a long time ago. They got past it and moved on, but somebody else tried to blow him up. It happens all the time. So I didn't understand the whole rigmarole he went through to try to, to save his. Like I said, it just seemed like he was just trying to save his brand. He wasn't really trying to, rebuild that trust that he had with the women that he talked to. So,
I
but
right.
mean,
anyway,
but realistically, I mean, what is it all about anyway? I mean, it's money.
no, well,
I
yeah,
mean, I
that's
mean
what it
that
boiled
that
down
that,
to.
that that's the his millions of followers probably make him hundreds of thousands of dollars, and he probably don't have a real job.
No,
besides to get up and criticize folks. And the thing is, it could have been 10 years ago. It could have been 10 days ago. But the,
yeah,
the point of the matter is, and that's the evolution of man, is to
mhm,
be better tomorrow than you are today. So,
right,
I can't judge the man, but it is what it is. And you can't in the same breath say, okay, do this and this and this, and you're doing total opposite. That's being a hypocrite.
hmm,
And that's one thing that me personally I can't stand. I can
yeah,
deal with anything else but a hypocrite.
Right,
that's it.
right.
Tell Linda
That's
we see
one.
we see her.
Yeah, I see you too.
Right. And it's one of those things too, to where every book you done wrote about, was you really writing about them or yourself?
Right, right. Because Sandra said she want her $25 back. I imagine a lot of women want their $25 back. But yeah, all right, we're gonna move on. Yesterday, my daughter and I had a conversation about microaggression. I had no idea what microaggression was. Uh, I still don't know everything, but I was trying to listen, trying to understand, trying to hear what she was talking about and how they uh, how they how microaggression how it works. That's basically what it boiled down to how microaggression work and what it actually is. And so I was wondering if you all had any idea what microaggression was, and believe me when I tell you I had no idea. And so if you don't know, don't feel bad. Uh, I had to be schooled by my daughter about all of this and what it means to be microaggressive. And I think I got it now. But I need other people. If y'all know what we're talking about, I need y'all to chime in on this one because I need help with this. I'm not even 100% sure that I got it right now. But according to the dictionary, microaggression is a statement, an action, or incident regarded as an instant or indirect, subtle, or unintentional discrimination against members of a marginalized group, like a racial or ethnic minority. So basically, what it boiled down to is yesterday, uh, my daughter was told to not look mean and smile, and that was from what I understand and what she was telling me, that was very microaggressive. And it somewhat insinuated that because she wasn't smiling, she was angry, or mean. And the whole thing was, why can't I just have a resting face and not be mean or angry? And my response to it was, I don't think they meant nothing by it. And she was like, well, that's the whole point. You being microaggressive or you marginalizing somebody and you don't even realize you're doing it. you know So the way it was explained to me was, if I got a white friend that every time, we in a group of people, we got white friends and black friends. He got white friends and black friends. But every time he referred to me, he refers to me as brother. What's up, brother? You know, and then at first I probably wouldn't pay no attention. But if he keeps singing like the black people ain't singing it, but he ain't saying it to the white guy, then I might get a little feel a certain kind of way about it. And that's the way she said she felt when she was told, "Don't look angry, smile." So if I think I got that right. So I just want to hear y'all opinion on that, because I'm not, like I said, I'm not even 100% sure I got that right. I was hoping to have her on here, and so she can explain it. But I think I pretty much got it. What y'all think? Y'all tell me what y'all think about that.
Uh, that's a new one on me. I never heard that, and just growing up the way we grew up, um, you had your elders around you, where you know, not saying that that was the right talk, but that was the way. Some people was trying to say, is there something wrong, without actually coming out saying
Okay, and like I said, I wouldn't. I guess I didn't put a whole lot of thought into it until she said it. And, anything that bothers my daughter is gonna bother me. So I really was trying to understand. I didn't want to just dismiss it, or like, okay, you being too sensitive. But because it really bothered her. And I was okay. So she probably had to explain it to me 2 or 3 times, and then it took my wife to try to put it into some perspective that I would recognize. Excuse me. So, and with this microaggression, I think that it might be, maybe we numb to it as older men, because you know we, people that did that to us our entire life. You know what I'm saying? And it just don't have the same kick to us like it do to the younger generation. And that's just my opinion. I just throw that out there.
Because I mean, a lot of times it could be not necessarily sometimes in what's said, but sometimes what's thought. Like me, for example, um, every time I'm going down the road and I pass by somebody and they got a Confederate flag on their car, the first thing I'm thinking is, oh, this gonna be the type of person that say, oh, it's heritage, not hate. But every time I've ever seen that flag used in any type of way, it's for hate. So what side of that are you on? And maybe that's me being microaggressive by seeing that symbol. But at the same time, with Taylor, Taylor probably felt, okay, they saying, okay, she's a typical angry black woman. That's how I take it that she took it. And
Yeah,
to me, she's right. She's absolutely right.
that's exactly what she said. It insinuates that she's an angry black woman because she ain't got a smile on her face.
Yeah.
So you're absolutely right. My sister say it is a form of unconscious bias that happens, and you take it as something normal. Oh, well, yeah, and that's exactly what happened.
True.
Like I said, no harm was meant by what they
see
said.
him in the light.
None, none whatsoever. So, and I understand that. I get it. It took a minute for me to catch on and latch on to it, but I get it. I got it. So, and that's something that, and what you said about the flag is another great example of microaggression. And we have to deal. I guess that's why I said, maybe we desensitized to it because of where we grew up, and being around in the South, and hearing certain things and have certain things said to us by family members, or just people that we know, that we had to take away from it. You know, uh, Try not to take away from it. The aggression part of it, but just that's how they are. And you just let it go. I hear that all the time. That's just how they are. Which still ain't never. good. That most time when people say something like that, that's just how they are. It ain't never nothing good. So
I mean, but it gets you to that point of, with symbols like that, what does that mean?
right,
So to me, if it wasn't for that, why was it on Capitol Hill, January 6th?
exactly,
What
exactly.
what did that have to do with what was going on right then? To
Yeah,
me, absolutely nothing. That
yeah,
had nothing to do with it. But it's just let me flag this around and show what my true colors are. But I know some people that I'm great friends with. We just like this, and they wear it every day. It don't bother me one bit. But because I know their heart more than what they're you know flying around. So like even with going back to Taylor's situation, if they know her, she just might not want to smile that day. That's just what it is. I don't have a whole lot of pictures from school. I might be like this. That's it. I might not want to show teeth that. That's just what it is.
I understand completely, completely. Completely. Cassandra said the media plays a big part of microaggression. Most images of lawyers and doctors are usually white men, which which program us in our minds to automatically accept that. And I agree with that. It.
Yeah,
I
that's
I,
true.
I, wa- I watched this show. I don't know if y'all look at it or not. It's The Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm a big Marvel fan. If it's Marvel, I'm looking at it. And the episode that I saw yesterday, they kind of dealt with it a little bit. The They had a I don't know if you read the comic books, you know this already. They had a black Captain America, and but he was basically kept a secret. Nobody really knew. He wasn't paraded in the public eye because he was black. The only reason that he was let out to operate was because they basically had kidnapped a bunch of black men, and out of 30 or 40, 50 black men, he was the only one that took the serum and survived. It actually worked on him. It didn't work on the rest of them. They just died. And they were sending him places, dropping him off in the middle of the jungle, doing this, that, and the other. And he said that what they had sent him on a mission, to to do something. And when he got finished, basically when they used him to the point of making sure that the serum was correct and what they had did was, what actually worked, they locked him up and started doing experiments on him. And he said they locked him up for 30 years. So, you know, when I said all that to say this, even in the Marvel universe, they are addressing the fact that they had a black Captain America that nobody know about. Because when they say Captain America, they think it's supposed to be this big buff white man with a helmet on. You know what I'm saying? Like that, like there could never be a black Captain America. Uh, the the Falcon on the show, Captain America was his best friend. He gave him his shield and wanted him to be the next Captain America. But he knew that they was never going to accept a black man as Captain America, so he gave it up. So
Yeah.
it go like Cassandra said, it's programmed in us to believe that the only righteous people on TV are white folks. White doctors, white lawyers, like white police. The heroes are white. Now that's one of the reasons that I like Marvel Comics, because all of the heroes ain't white.
Yeah.
They everything. They Mexican, they black, they white, they you know Sokovian and Italian. It's one for just about everybody, at least one. Actually several black ones, but and there's more to come. But she's absolutely right. The media, portrays that a lot.
I
That
mean, and Ella can identify with that because, like, being along those lines of being in the military and Desert Storm and all that good stuff. When you see folks coming back home on TV, what do you see?
Yep.
When you see folks with the yellow flags and doing the parades and all this stuff, support our troops. Like, it's like we're forgotten about.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, I got shot at too. I got deployed and separated from my family too.
Right.
I had an American flag right here on my shoulder too. So why does you look at it? Why is it that it's just for an opposite race when it
Mm.
should just be one? It's only be one.
Yeah. And when I tell you that, it is a perfect example of microaggression. That's it right there. We face it every day. So yeah. Good job. Good job, y'all. All right. Well, we're gonna move on. We um hold on, y'all. I got something going on here. Let's see.
All right, you back?
All right. Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, that's good now. Yeah, they
Okay.
had that little reverb going on there.
Yeah, I had to shake it. I had to shake it a little bit. But yeah, we're gonna move on to the toolbox. Now I'm gonna put this on something and try to come up with a actual toolbox. Well, I won't say an actual toolbox, but some kind of little pamphlet or something that we could put together with these things on there, and it won't just be just one, two, three, four. It's gonna be one, and then let everybody uh, give a comment on what having a relationship with God means. For number one, what is navigating the stages of forgiveness? What is taking responsibility for yourself? What do we mean when we say love is a tool? You know, so this week I want to find out from you all, what do y'all think number five should be?
Hmm.
Sorry about that, bro. Anybody? Now I think it
I
is
don't.
something going on with everything making me echo.
Might be a mic issue on his end.
Let me see. We're gonna get him back in a second here. But go ahead, Derek. If you got something to say, go ahead.
Like to try to put that back on the ends of the topic that we're on today. Um, Maybe that fifth thing in the toolbox ought to be removing the mask.
Hmm.
Um, you know, because and it's just everybody's everybody wears one. That's
Mhm.
just what the reality of it is. But
All
it's
right.
who can you trust to remove that mask?
Gotcha. Gotcha. All right, Blue, we're gonna put you on. Go ahead, man. I had to mute you for a minute. I don't know why, but when I unmute you, it started echoing. But go ahead. I'm gonna mute everybody else.
I think every every person wear a mask to a point, male or female, because you're not trying to, in a sense, be someone you're not. You're just trying to put your best foot forward, and you don't want to lose an opportunity of being with your soulmate or someone you think you can spend the rest of your life with, off of a misunderstanding of who you really are. And I think that would be a great addition to the toolbox. Along with the other four that we have in there already. And that was really good. That was really good.
There you
Okay.
go. There you go.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was muted. Okay. So we're going to say number 5 is removing the mask. Everybody good with that?
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Okay. All right. It's in there. And we'll do number 6 next time. I don't know. I'm not sure we're going to have a show next Saturday. Um, I'm really not sure about that. I got to go out of town for a little while, so I don't know if I'm gonna, you know, have the time to actually get everything together next week or not. So I'm gonna go ahead and say probably not. What I will do is I probably will upload some clips and put them out. So uh, some stuff from YouTube that ain't on Facebook, I might put that out on Facebook so y'all can see what we're doing on YouTube. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and go over to YouTube and hold on, let's see something here. Oh, okay. Knowing and displaying your authentic self. All right, sis. You're right.
That's
You're
true.
absolutely right. So with that being said, I think we're gonna call it a day on this one.
All right.
And we're gonna go over to YouTube and do our after show. And by the way, people, I know we're doing this on Facebook Live, and we don't have a whole lot of people on here, but I know a lot of y'all go back and watch it because I can see how many views it got. Go over to the YouTube page and subscribe. And like the videos. It'll help us tremendously if you can do that. Now we're gonna call it a day, and we're gonna be out, y'all.